I'm taking the Grizzly locker out and putting the Grizzly air locker back in, so I have...
Yukon zip locker.
What did I say?
You say Grizzly locker.
Alright, day 2 at Bastion Barn, Riding Shotgun Adventures. I'm Brad. Got Dan helping me do all this stuff. So, front axle's torn down to this point for several reasons. One main reason was my axle tube is leaking, so I'm having John Sherwin assist in welding that up. Second reason is I want to get rid of the Yukon Grizzly locker, and I'm replacing it with a Yukon zip locker, so I have selectable front axle instead of locked all the time. And we're taking these springs, the coil buckets off, the upper buckets off. We've got new mounts for the Kings. Sorry, I'm using Fox. Kings were on back order. So these are what's going to be holding the lower shock mount. We also have to weld that to here.
Yeah, so once the lower buckets are off, Brad will be able to grind them to fit for his lower coilover shock mounts. And while it's all apart, we're going to put new ball joints in the knuckles. Yep. Those were kind of, well, those were on my truck Sarge before, so.
Yep. One was kind of loose, so while it's apart, might as well take care of it.
Yeah, if you're going this deep, just
yeah,
just send it.
That's right. We're gonna be, you can see it's kind of cleaned up here. We're gonna be welding plates on there, so the front hoops have a more solid area to weld to.
Yeah, so basically from the front body mount, you know what the hair about, you said?
Yeah, about right there.
Yeah, so that's going to be all plated 1/4 inch, 3/16, whatever. So it's going to be sweet.
Yep.
All right, let's get this thing dropped.
And then I do have a truss that I haven't messed with, but we're going to see about putting the truss on there too. All right, axle is now out, ready for cleanup. We got to clean all this, get all the paint off so we can put the shock brackets on.
Well, now you can actually show them a little bit better because.
Yeah. Shock brackets are going to go basically like that. We'll have to do a little grinding to get them to fit nice, but you know, they're made for a Dana 44 for doing coilovers.
Yeah, that's from Ballistic Fab.
Yep. And then the low profile truss you're seeing is from Adam Doling in Muskegon, Michigan. This one's made for a full-size Ford Dana 44. I'm gonna trim it down and make it work on the early Bronco narrow length Dana 44. But it should work out well.
Yep.
And
yeah, with all the axle tubes welded and this truss on it, it's going to be super strong.
As Dana 44 can get.
Yeah. And then we're naked over here now.
Yep, we're naked over here, so I'll continue cleaning this off. We're going to box that all in so that we have a good solid mounting point to put the hoops in. Luckily for me, when I picked this thing up, it was originally a Kentucky vehicle, so the frame was pretty clean to begin with. Other than a couple of the body mounts that you saw in the previous video, or the video that just got released today, where we had to do a little repair work.
And what's cool, it already has a James Duff long arm solid axle kit on it.
Yep.
So that's going to basically help us position this axle for the coilover suspension. And we're going to leave the Duff track bar bracket and track bar on there temporarily, so that way we can hold this axle perfectly centered while we're mocking up the shock hoops. So that's a huge advantage based on what I was doing with Sarge 2.0 back there. I was doing that totally freehand. So this is going to help a ton.
Yep. This build should go a whole lot quicker. Dan's he's learned.
Yeah, well, we've all been up and down these roads a few times now. Look at that beast under the hood. All right, Brad, let's wrap this one up.
Yep.
All right, till next time.
Yep. Thanks for watching. So, day 2, day 3. Well, the saga continues anyways. The rear axle's out. We still got to drain the diff fluid. That's going to be going to the ring and pinion shop and getting an ARB air locker put in. And, as you all know, the front axle came out over the weekend. I got the tubes cleaned up so that Mr. John Sherwin can weld it up for me. And then this one's off to the ring and pinion shop and getting a Yukon zip locker. That's where we're at right now.
Keeping the 488 gears.
And yep, it's keeping the 488 gears that Dan had originally put in it. And the RCI fuel tank is, we're getting ideas of where we're going to be mounting it. And that's kind of the way, that's the game plan right now. With the towers mounted here, even if we mounted them completely flush here, we still had a good inch before it would actually even come close to the tank. Alright, yeah, Dan's going to demonstrate.
That would be by far the max. We would still be plenty on both sides. It's going to work out perfect.
Yep, it's going to be sweet. Well, that's enough for Monday night. I'm freaking beat. We got the spring hangers off, the rear, the front. I got the little diagonal piece that helps support that crossbar off, because that'll be in the way of the upper links. We, in the previous video, kind of have a game plan of what we're going to do with the fuel cell. The 8.8 is out. Spring purchase have to be cut off. That's going to be a PETA. But they're going to be in the way, so they got to go. Front axle's out. And the tubes are cleaned up, ready to be welded. And it doesn't appear that that's going to happen until Saturday, but it's all good. And then Monday it's going to the ring and pinion shop to have the Yukon air locker installed. This one hopefully will go in the same time and get a ARB air locker, since Yukon doesn't make one for an 8.8. Go figure. One of the most popular Ford axles out there, going under all sorts of builds, and they don't make a zip locker. Well, is what it is. Good night, everybody.